Hello, I'm Jim, and welcome to Rallying in America, the Recce podcast. This podcast is an exploration of a rich history, the stories and memories of those who made and make Rallying in America so great. Enjoy the show. This week, Mark Huebbe joins me. We cover his early mechanical experience with his father's airplane projects, his progression from autocross to rallycross and Subarus, and his entry into stage rally in 2007. Mark shares how he and his brother restored, quotation marks, a Volkswagen Beetle and competed in multiple events, including WRC Mexico, where they won their class. We also discussed running a bakery, an ice cream business, and how bittersweet it was selling the Beetle not too long ago. Well, Mark, thank you for taking your time this evening and coming on the podcast. Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to join you.
Yeah, so Mark, before we get into your rally days, did you grow up around cars and motorsports?
No, not really at all.
Mm.
I grew up mainly around airplanes. My father was a pilot.
Oh,
Just for recreation, he was always building something in the garage or the basement. He started off just building experimental aircraft, ultralight type aircraft,
oh,
and
nice.
then that lasted from, well, probably since I was maybe 6 or 7, so mid mid 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
He had built three aircraft by the time I was in high school, and then in college, just getting right out of college, both of us, along with my twin brother John,
Mm-hmm.
helped him build an experimental aircraft called a Sonex. It's an all
Oh, okay.
aluminum two-place aircraft, and it uses a Volkswagen motor for the engine. So
Okay, is it a high
there's a
wing or low wing?
it's a low wing aircraft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What would be something comparable to it? If I can try to imagine it. Like a Piper kind of aluminum or more like a.
Yeah, I mean it's similar to like any Cessna. Those are high wing aircraft, but it's just a low wing, all aluminum airplane.
Oh,
A
okay.
Piper Cub is tube and fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's a small airplane. Carries two people, 20 gallons of fuel, 50 pounds of
Mm-hmm.
baggage. Um, but it's experimental. It's relatively inexpensive. You build it in your garage.
Yeah.
And then depending on the motor you choose, it's even more inexpensive. So
Okay.
using a Volkswagen motor kind of ties into choice of vehicle that
Yeah,
John
kind
and I
of. Yeah.
campaigned.
We'll get into that. So, air
Yeah.
cooled.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. But racing cars, go-karting, anything like that, we did not do. Well, I will say, probably sixth, seventh grade, we had a friend in our neighborhood that we would build downhill derby type cars. Just
Okay.
we would ride our bikes to the 84 lumber, and they had a junk pile of wood, and we'd get some wood and some screws and nails and some wheels from lawnmowers and make a downhill derby car. But that's about as much motorsports experience as we had growing up.
Okay. So, as you got older, how did you and your brother first start thinking about rally?
Um, we had seen rally racing on Speed Vision, probably like a lot of people did
Mm-hmm.
in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was pretty much unaware of any type of US rally scene. So a lot of the experience was just, watching events on Speed Vision,
Mm-hmm.
Rally Monte Carlo and other type events. And then After graduating university as a civil engineer, I had extra money in my pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking for a fast car. So I looked at Mitsubishis and uh, Nissan and decided on a Subaru WRX.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2003, and it
Okay.
came with a free SCCA membership.
Oh, perfect.
So uh, the free SCCA membership, I got a magazine and I got invited to the local St. Louis SCCA club. Started doing autocross events and
Mm-hmm.
rallycross events on in mainly in 2004. Um, and then from SCCA, I learned about the local rally race in Salem, Missouri, the 100 Acre Wood.
Oh, nice.
So my brother and I got down there in our WRX, and we started shooting video. Prior to that, in college,
Oh,
I was doing
nice.
a lot
Okay.
of video production with competitive gaming. So like Quake and Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm.
And after leaving college, I wasn't filming professional gaming anymore, and I had all this film equipment. So we took our film equipment down and filmed the 100 Acre Wood Rally. And this was pre-YouTube. We kind of
Oh,
slapped
yeah.
together, I don't know, maybe a 15-20 minute video and put it up online. I still had a website that was hosting video at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Um, you know, linked to it from, I think, Special Stage Forum was around at the time, and maybe a couple other forums.
Oh, yeah.
And then the committee kind of invited us um, to come and film more extensively in 2005. And then we also got invited to join the committee.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was new. Um, so that's a
So,
little early history.
yeah, so you learned a lot about the rally and how it operated, and so you kind of got some background on it
Mhm.
before you started rallying, which must have been helpful.
Yeah, it was very helpful. Just seeing how a rally gets put together,
Mm-hmm.
how many volunteers it takes.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, just it's good to have some volunteering experience before you start your first rally. Kind of,
Definitely. Yeah.
it, I think you kind of savor the experience more. You kind of know what goes on into running an event like that, and
Mm-hmm.
how many volunteer hours go into it. So um, you you kind of value it a lot more.
Yeah. So, what point did you move on from that WRX? And then what was your next
Um,
vehicle from there?
so I rallycrossed the WRX for, I think, maybe a year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and then once the once the STI came out, I was like, I have to have that car. So I traded in my 2003 WRX for a 2004 STI, and then
Oh,
started
wow.
crossing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was like 2005 until 2000 and maybe eight. Um, we went to the Rallycross National Challenge event in Hastings, Nebraska, the first one.
Okay.
Um, Ironically, John won the event, and I think I got maybe like second or third. And so we kind of campaigned that car locally
Sure.
at autocross and rallycross events. And then from about 2006 until 2008, since we also had that video equipment, and we had produced a DVD of the 2005 Rally in the 100 Acre Wood,
Mm-hmm.
we started shooting video for ESPN. So we would follow various teams like Tanner Faust, Matthew Johnson,
Okay.
and we followed them for 3 years from '06 until '08, and we were traveling all over the country to basically all the national events.
And that's Rally America days, right?
Yeah, that's Rally America days. Yeah, because
Okay.
2005, I think. Might have been '04. It was either '04 or '05. SCCA quit
Hmm.
rallying, so it was Rally America days.
Okay. So then after the
Mhm.
rallycrossing your STI, um, how'd you progress from there? When did you decide to do your first stage rally?
Um, so it was in, I think, 2007 that we purchased the Volkswagen Beetle. Actually, no, it was late 2006.
Hmm.
Um, we were getting experience filming rallies. We were doing rallycross, and we kind of thought, you know what, it'd be nice to actually be on the other side of the camera and actually compete in an event. Um, and then we thought, well, we need a car that's maybe a little bit more economical, something
Hmm.
that's maybe cheaper to acquire, cheaper to work on. And then since my father owned a Beetle in the '70s when he was stationed out in 29 Palms in California while he was serving in the Marines, and then he had experience building engines for the experimental aircraft, and these were all Volkswagen-based
Oh yeah.
engines,
Okay.
air-cooled engines. Um, I don't remember if it was his suggestion or our suggestion, but we had decided on, hey, let's go ahead and build a Beetle.
Cool.
So we had looked for a few months. All the Midwest cars we found were just rusted out shells.
Mm.
So luckily, we found a clean California rust-free car. And then I think the woman wanted less than $1,000. She
Oh
basically
wow.
said, I need enough money for a new fence. This was my grandfather's car. I brought it from California. I want somebody to take the car and fix it up, send me some photos of it once it's restored.
Yeah.
And we told her, yeah, we're going to restore it. Don't
Oh
worry.
no.
I think maybe 6 months later we had sent her some photos of a similar looking car that was it
You
looked
didn't
brand new, and
you didn't want to break
uh
her heart, right?
I didn't want to break her heart and tell her we're going to race it, but so we were building that car from late 2006 through 2007.
Hmm.
But in choosing the car, uh the the Beetle has been campaigned before
Yeah.
in Europe quite extensively. There was a factory works team in the early '70s. Volkswagen had hired Porsche of Salzburg to run the 1302S. It's the Super Beetle model
Oh
as
wow.
a
Okay.
factory works team. So they ran a factory team from 1970 to '72. They had mixed success. They um, they placed first at the Northern Lights Rally in Finland, I
Hmm.
think in '71. Fifth place at the Acropolis in '73.
Yeah. Okay.
So, there, so we kind of based our car off of the Salzburg factory team, the color scheme and some of the
Okay.
improvements to the car. Back then, they had Porsche um, enlarge the size of the engine to 1.6 liter. They used
Okay.
twin Weber 46 IDA carburetors. They used a Porsche 901 5-speed transaxle with a limited slip differential.
Oh wow. Okay.
So some of those modifications we applied to our car, not maybe exactly. The 46 IDA carbs were
Yeah.
harder to acquire, so um, 48 IDF carburetors were easier to get. We started with a 4-speed transaxle,
Yeah.
so we kind of worked on the car in our spare time in our garage, completely disassembled it. There was a little bit of rust on the floor pans, so we replaced the floor pans, but the body was in excellent shape.
Mm.
So after stripping the car and replacing the floor pans, we sent it off to a local guy to put a roll cage in it, and then everything else besides the roll cage we did ourselves. So
Oh
new
wow.
wiring harness, Lexan side windows,
Very
um,
nice.
exhaust. We built the motor ourselves. Um, and then a lot of the parts that we put on the car. The good thing about the Beetle is they made, you know, a million plus
Oh
of these
yeah,
cars. So
made
getting
a lot of them.
fenders and hood, def lid, body panels, like you can get any part for the car you want.
Yeah.
So spare parts are plentiful, but also since it made an excellent car, race desert racing, and people still desert race the car in the Baja. You can
Right.
get racing parts for it. Also, it's a very successful car to drag race. So,
Oh wow.
people in California, there's tons of parts both for the engine, transmission, and suspension out of
Hmm.
California that you can buy and put on the car. So that's a lot of stuff that we did. Is we would just buy parts from California. Um, Bill Stein makes specific racing shocks for the Beetle.
Okay.
As a for Baja. All the engine parts we got from suppliers in California. And then at the time, there's probably less now, but at the
Yeah.
time there was probably at least 10 different transmission builders. And so uh, it was quite easy to go ahead and get the parts for the
Yeah.
car. But also the downside, we thought it was a plus at the time, but quickly learned that if you want to build a race car and you want to build it from a cheap car like a Beetle,
Yeah.
uh, racing parts are going to get expensive. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, you know, buying parts for the motor and the transmission, and uh, those are expensive.
We'll be right back. Power up your ride. Daily driver, bike, or track beast with Melee Design Firm. Since 2018, Melee has been the go-to source for high-performance battery mounts and power solutions trusted by enthusiasts and professionals alike. Whether you're carving corners on the weekend, commuting to work, or chasing podiums, they have the gear to keep you powered and ready. Their lightweight universal battery mounts are engineered for performance, crafted with precision, and designed to handle whatever you throw their way. They don't just make and sell parts, they build confidence under the hood. Rugged, industrial, functional. That's the Melee difference. Join thousands of satisfied drivers who refuse to settle for stock. Upgrade your battery game today. Now back to the show.
So we fixed the car up. Um, we were still, filming the factory teams in Rally America, through 2008. So we had ran the Rally to Paris event in 2007.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
That's down Paris, Texas,
Yeah.
and it did not go well at all.
Uh oh. What happened there?
They, I don't know if you're familiar with the event or not,
I'm
but
not.
it was run on an old um, military base that they would test like tanks on. So there were a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
gravel roads, and they had what was known as the tank trap. It's a basically just think of like a creek crossing that looks like a steep V, and you would go
Hmm.
down, and then you'd bang your skid plate, and then go back up a steep hill.
Yeah.
So I think that was maybe the second stage of the event, and we went down, heard a big crash, and then went back up, and then our exhaust was just like completely
Oh,
smashed.
no.
Uh, and So we smashed our exhaust first rally.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. We may have gone into town and got some like flexible hose from O'Reilly or Napa Auto Parts, and
Yeah.
ran maybe a couple more stages with like some flexible hosing. So we had straight
I
pipes on the
gotcha.
car. Yeah, and then in uh so we ran one event in 2007,
Hmm.
and then in 2008 we were still doing video work, so we ran Rally West Virginia, which was a NASA event. That was pretty cool. And then we also entered a Rally to Paris again, which was at the end of 2008 on Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
Um, and we've had trouble again at the tank trap. I think we we tore the exhaust off again.
Oh, no.
We thought we'd improved upon things from the last event, but we did not. So,
Yeah.
but I think we did finish. We uh, patch the car up and finish the event.
Got it.
And then 2009 was the year we stopped going to national events, filming for those couple teams. And then the beginning of the year, we ran double zero for 100 Acre Wood, and then uh, later on we ran more regional type events.
Okay.
So
Got it.
so really, we kind of developed the car from 2009 until our last event in 2014. So, but we did a lot of development work on the car.
Okay. So I always loved growing up as a kid and seeing in the old magazines the ads for the Beetle. Like
Uh-huh.
it would show it was an ad or a commercial, I can't remember which. And it said, "How does the plowman get to his plow?" And they showed, him driving
Yes.
a Volkswagen Beetle through the snow to get to his plow. I always
Yep.
thought those were great. So, but when you were building it, did you and I'm always curious about this. When you were building it and with your dad being involved in building experimental aircraft, did you use any tricks or things that he picked up from um, building aircraft and incorporate it at all um, into the build? Reason I ask is I'm working on an older car, and the
Uh-huh.
heating ductwork was like a burlap, that comes from the rear of the engine. It's an old Renault Dauphine, and it's got a rear engine, and it's got that ductwork that goes up into the heater underneath the dash. And my friend was like, "Oh, we'll never find a replacement for that." I said, "Oh yeah, you will. Just go to Aircraft Spruce and Specialty, and they have those hoses, those orange reinforced hoses that we can use for, things like that." So I was curious
Yeah.
to know, did you use any kind of airplane parts or anything that you would
We
have picked up?
we did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Our panel in the car has several gauges from
Mm-hmm.
experimental type aircraft. So, we monitor cylinder head temperature. Since it's not a water cooled
Oh
engine, we
yeah,
monitor
okay.
cylinder head temperature. We monitor exhaust gas temperature. Um, and the gauges we use, come out of experimental aircraft. But also speaking of the flexible tubing, we've got several oil coolers. We kept adding more and more oil coolers to the car,
Okay.
and we have NACA ducts on the rear quarter windows, and they feed large oil coolers with those flexible hoses.
Okay.
Um, and then also, um, anything that can vibrate loose on the car is safety wired. If it doesn't
Oh
have
yeah.
like a nylock nut, um, and it's in like on the motor or suspension components
Mm-hmm.
or the steering rack, we would drill holes in screws or nuts
Yeah.
and put safety wire or cotter pins in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Excellent. So yeah, the reason
things
I asked,
things you
I
pick up from aircraft, we applied to the car.
yeah, the only reason I know that is my late brother was an airplane pilot and mechanic, an A&P
Uh-huh.
mechanic. Um, Never got his twin rating. I'm not sure why, but I worked summers with him, a lot of summers, and I remember doing safety wire. And there's a lot that I learned there that I do apply, or I will apply to one of the builds that I'm doing now, which is a 1963 Triumph TR4.
Mm.
So I always use the airplane gasket seal cement,
Uh-huh.
things like that. Little things like that I pick up from the aircraft world, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Um, and the rubber would do it from baffling and things like that, and the engine cowl, so on and so forth. So I thought that was interesting. So in 2012, I believe it was, you and your brother
Mhm.
took the car to WRC in Mexico.
Yeah.
So when you did the build initially, then say the roll cage and that, were there any modifications that you had to specifically do for that WRC event?
No, we had built a car. I think at the time, Mike Hurst was the competition director or the technical director
Mm-hmm.
for Rally America, and I think maybe when we were building the car, a new set of rules were put out that you had to follow, FAA Article 253, I think.
Okay.
Um, so we built the car to FAA standards.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we wanted a safe car. Um,
Yeah.
so everything in the roll cage was FAA standards. So when we went to Mexico, we didn't have any issue getting the car past their technical
Okay.
inspection. Yeah, and then the event, since it was a subset of the WRC event, they
Mm-hmm.
allowed you to use your national rule book. So we didn't have to have like FAA
Oh, okay.
harnesses or
Yeah.
FAA seats. And we did have FAA seats. The harness, I think, was SFI. Um, yeah, so it was kind of a mix. But the roll cage, they required you to have an FAA roll cage. So
Okay.
we passed, no problem. But
Nice.
yeah, Mexico was an amazing experience.
How
Um,
did you finish?
oh, we finished first place.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Oh,
we did. Yeah,
fantastic.
we won. They had two classes. They had a two-wheel drive and a four-wheel drive class.
Mm-hmm.
We finished first place in two-wheel drive. Um, and
Oh, that's
it
awesome.
was it was an amazing experience. And they built the Beetle in Mexico until 2003, and they used the
All
Beetle as a
right.
taxi cab. So the the people down there loved us.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they loved seeing the car. Um,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, it was just an amazing experience. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to feel like a rock star, you need to enter a WRC event because I mean, just anybody anywhere wants to take your photo
Yeah.
and have your autograph. Um, but yeah, so I mean, we had um, I think we had heard from a competitor that had ran the event before,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and then we uh, had our car shipped down with two other teams.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Rob Wright had I think a Ford Focus, and then there was another gentleman that had I think a Volkswagen GTI. So we kind of um, packed a tractor trailer with
Mm.
three cars, tires, and some spare parts. Uh, we had a gentleman in Nuevo Laredo, Texas, basically ferry our cars across the border, put them
Okay.
in a shipping container in Mexico, and then they went ahead and drove down. Because at the time, I think it's become a lot safer, but at the time, there was a lot of cartel action in the
Okay.
northern part of Mexico. So, we had heard, hey, it's going to be really difficult to get your car down there. You might get stopped by real police or fake police. They
Oh,
might,
wow.
ask for money
Yeah.
um, and our our good friend Ron Erickson had co-driven um, for oh the $500 BMW guy. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh,
Uh,
$500 BMW guy. Is that the Lemons guy?
no,
No, okay.
no, he had ran WC Mexico, I think, the year or two prior,
Okay.
and Ron Erickson was his co-driver.
Okay.
So he crewed Ron crewed for us in Mexico along with Rob Wright, but he had experience from doing WRC Mexico. So and I think they had gotten pulled over by real police or fake police and gotten held up by gunpoint.
Oh, wow.
So that one of the reasons why we just had the car shipped down there. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we ran zero car at 100 Acre Wood before WC Mexico, kind of just to shake the car down a little bit. We had a
Mm-hmm.
week prior to the event. So if something would come up, we could go ahead and kind of fix it
Yeah.
quickly. But then early March, uh, we went down, we towed the car from St. Louis, Missouri to Nuevo Laredo. Had a gentleman, I think his name was Ponce. He took the cars across the border, had
Mm-hmm.
shipped down to Leon, Mexico, and then we flew down into Leon and basically spent a little more than a week at WRC Mexico. So
Okay.
we would go and do recce for 2 or 3 days, and then we had I think the kickoff of the event was in Guanajuato on Thursday, and then
Okay.
we ran a whole bunch of stages Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Yeah.
and then finished Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. We forgot to mention that it's a beautiful silver with black fenders. It's really, really sharp looking livery on it.
Yeah, it's a silver car with a black hood and a black deck lid.
Yeah.
We modeled the color scheme off of the Salzburg factory team in
Yeah.
the 70s.
Very nice. So fast forward to just a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
Um, Aaron Alberta of the Bluebird Fund, who I've had on the podcast,
Yeah.
kind of was posting a teaser that we've got something special, and she later revealed that her and her husband had purchased a car from you, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful car, cool car," and she said, "Oh yeah, it's got tons of history, and you need to reach out to Mark and get a hold of Mark and talk to him about the history of it." And yeah, I'm happy that I reached out to you. It is a
Yes.
beautiful car, a fun car, and I think Aaron's husband has built a Beetle before for rallying, maybe just for rallycross, but I feel like it went into really good hands. I'm sure you and your brother were probably disappointed maybe to part with it, but
It's bittersweet.
yeah.
It took a lot of work to keep that car going, especially at the pace we were running
Mm,
towards kind of the end of our rally career. From 2009 until well, all the way, I would even say through 2012, even when we ran WRC Mexico,
yeah.
we were still doing a lot of development work on the car. The final couple of years, 2013, 2014, we had some really good success with the car. It was very well sorted at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we finally had a 5-speed transmission for the car. We were in a 4-speed for a long time, uh, but eventually we got a 5-speed for it with
Mm-hmm.
proper gear ratios, with a limited slip differential, and that made a world of difference. And then also we got a more robust engine for the car. We
Okay.
were still using a stock magnesium case, uh,
Okay.
and we were it was 2.2 liter, so it was larger than the 1600 cc motor that the car started with. But even 2.2 liter, you could always use more displacement. So in 2013, we upgraded to I think it's a 2442 cc. It's over
Mm-hmm.
2.4 liter, um, larger bore, larger stroke, better camshaft, but then also an actual purpose-built racing aluminum engine case instead of the
Okay. Nice.
magnesium case. So, because we had cracked the stock case twice,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Wow.
and yeah, so there was a gentleman that was actually purpose building aluminum cases for the car, still based on the Volkswagen Type 1 motor,
Yeah.
but out of a stronger, more modern aluminum alloy. So after making improvements to the car up through 2012, um, we were we were getting pretty quick in the car. It was very
Nice.
rewarding beating not only older cars but but newer cars.
That must have been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes, it was very fun. Lift off, throttle, oversteer. It's no joke in that car, especially with all the weight on the rear end.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. It would be like a almost like a drag car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, coming off the front. You'd almost need wheelie bars, maybe.
Not quite, but it got up and went
Yeah.
pretty quickly. Yeah, but like development for the car, uh, you would think, oh, it's an air cooled car. Uh, you don't need um, you'll need some oil cooling, but the car is surprisingly it's like half air cooled, half oil cooled.
Mm-hmm.
Early on we only had one kind of medium sized oil cooler, and we would still have high oil temps, and then we kept adding oil coolers. Uh,
Yeah.
we would add a second oil cooler, and it'd get a little bit better, and then we would get faster,
Hmm.
push the motor harder,
Yeah.
and then we would get higher oil temps. So eventually. We had a large Porsche Cup car oil cooler, a 72 row cooler from C-Trab,
Oh
plus
yeah.
two like 25 row oil coolers. So I had three oil coolers with fans and being fed
Mm.
by NACA ducts on the side windows. Um, so
I'm
you know,
envisioning there was a trend for a little while that people would take the front end of a Beetle and put like
uh-huh.
that Rolls Royce kind of front end on it. You know what I'm talking about with the
Yeah,
grill.
right, right.
That may have helped with the oil cooling,
Yeah,
but
yeah. But
maybe a
all of
little
our coolers
susceptible
were.
to rocks and
Yes, yeah,
stuff. So
all of our coolers were inside the car,
yeah.
behind metal work, just to stay safe. And then they were fed from the NACA ducts. We kind of considered maybe putting one on the front of the car, but then we were thinking, well, if we hit something, and the only since there's really no grill on the front of the car,
Hmm.
is on a because our car was a stock standard Beetle with a ball joint front end. It was not a Super Beetle,
Okay,
and I think
gotcha.
Super Beetles had a very tiny grill below the front hood. You maybe could put an oil cooler there,
Yeah.
but we just decided against putting a cooler up front. It probably would have been better airflow wise, but with the NACA ducts and four large fans, oil temperature really
Hmm.
wasn't a problem.
Well, we've touched upon just about everything that I've seen in your Facebook profile, but Baker. So I have to ask, you have Baker listed there.
I
Um,
do.
and I've been learning how to make bread lately. Been making a lot of bread lately. And I try to ferment my dough at least 16 to 24 hours before I bake it. And I've been using the
Uh-huh.
Dutch oven method.
Uh-huh.
And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your baking. See if you have any pointers for me.
Well, so if you go online and look at my rally results, you notice it stops in 2014. So that is when I met my my future wife.
Okay.
Um, so she was a baker, and she still is a baker,
Oh,
and she
okay.
was starting a small business at the time, and so I kind of got pulled into the small business world with her. We had uh, purchased a building and fixed it up, and then she ran a bakery out of that building um, for maybe about 10 years. And then we
Oh,
bought
okay.
a second business,
Mm-hmm.
an ice cream parlor, and
Oh,
and
wow.
we've been operating an ice cream parlor in St. Charles, Missouri, on Main Street, and I fixed that building up as well. So I
Oh,
have a lot
okay.
of woodworking experience.
There you
My
go.
my baking experience is just helping her occasionally.
Okay.
Uh, I was doing a lot more work early on since she didn't have any employees at the time,
Yeah.
so I would bake cupcakes and cakes and cookies and help her decorate some stuff. But she's the true baker in our family.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
had
at the
to ask.
time, yeah, yeah. But now I've transitioned to ice cream maker.
Okay.
I our ice cream parlor, we make all of our stuff from scratch, especially the ice cream. So I come
Oh,
up with a whole bunch
excellent.
of ice cream flavors. So all
Yeah.
the flavors down there are ice creams that I love. eating. Uh,
So,
one even has my name on it, and it's peanut butter based because I love peanut butter.
oh, there you go. So, do you
Yeah.
just do a lot of traditional flavors, or do you make anything kind of radical?
No, I mean, we've got, I hate to say it, but we have a bunch of old people that come in occasionally,
Yeah, okay.
that, ask for like butter pecan, basic flavors like that.
Oh, I love
We're
butter
like, no,
pecan.
we're not the butter pecan type of ice cream parlor.
Okay, gotcha.
No, yeah, it's nothing crazy with like weird candies or anything, but
Okay,
they're, I would say, maybe more modern type ice cream flavors.
okay.
I think my favorite one is one that uses honeycomb candy that we make from scratch.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
do you know
that
what
sounds
honeycomb
really
candy
good.
is? Yeah. Yeah, it's this kind of crunchy, real fluffy type candy, and
Yeah.
then the longer it sits in the ice cream, it kind of melts a little bit, so you get this kind of like caramely
Uh-huh.
bit around the
Yeah.
candy on the inside of the ice cream. It's really good. It's
So, are
delicious.
you a plain cone guy or sugar cone or waffle cone?
Waffle cone all the time.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah, especially from scratch waffle cones.
Okay. Do you make them from scratch then?
Yes, yeah,
Because
we
then
make
there's
everything
the
from scratch
tie-in with
there.
the bakery then, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
So, yeah, okay. Excellent. Well, Mark, thank you so much for taking your evening and chatting with me and learning about the uh, the beetle that is going to live on in Aaron's hands. And yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for them. When John and I were kind of thinking about selling the car, we had said had it sitting in our garage for a long time. We would occasionally just take it out for a parade or
Mm-hmm.
to a car show, and we got to the point where we're like, hey, we if we're not going to run the car anymore, we need to sell it. And
Yeah,
we kind of considered maybe putting it up on Bring a Trailer. Maybe some collector would want it, or
yeah,
um, but then we posted it on North American Rally on Facebook, and they just jumped at the opportunity, and we couldn't be more happy for them because
yeah,
I just would I love to see somebody get use out of the car other than just like sit in a showroom or sit in
yeah,
somebody's
definitely.
garage and go into more car shows. It
Yeah,
needs to be used,
good.
for its intended purpose.
All
So
right.
I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, awesome. Excellent. Well, thanks again.
You're welcome.
All right. Good night.
Thanks for having me on.
If you'd like to be on the podcast, you can email me, jim@jimboothdesigns.com, or message me through Facebook at Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast, or Instagram, rallying_in_America. Special thanks to Brady Instruments, pro-grade, handmade, professional fuel hydrometers. Visit bradyinstruments.com for all of your fuel testing needs. Thanks to Toontank and the artist Nuclear Wave for the podcast theme music.